They brought him gold, frankincense, and myrrh, but I will bring you my book review. Hello. This is the books I've read in 2025. The first one is Sigmund Freud, and was known well earlier in the 1900s. His book was called Civilization, Society and Religion, and I read pretty much pages of it this year, all of it, besides the last bit about the war, because it's about war during the wartime, and I quite enjoy him, even though people don't get to engage with him anymore. Why I like him is he's got a slow as a river narrative about the approach of human behaviour, unbiased and very clinical, but open to interpretation, everything he says, but the interpretation is, I find, very profound to ponder, and he has many talents of information that you can take little pieces from and work on your own life, and if you get too involved in certain areas in your life, you can come back to him all the time, and or not sometimes, and just get another opinion about especially worldviews or psychology or psychoanalysis or theology even, and his worldview can give you an umbrella for a bit of the explanations of the world and science world. So I'll quickly just say he talks about neuroses as like it's good because it means like he was talking about a thorn in the flesh, like a mental illness, but they didn't say back then mental illness, it's more like neuroses, and everyone sort of had some degree of this. Then he talks about a lot about erotic, and there's a Greek god called Eros who, and that's the first. There's 3 types of love in the Greek alphabet, or in the Greek language, but Eros is the first one, and he doesn't, even though Sigmund Freud doesn't mention the other 2, I think he should have, because he could have got some more value, but Eros is mentioned a lot, and that's why people probably avoid him, because he gets a bit too speculative about Eros. And then totemism, he talks about like the primal horde and the primal father. So in like the early caveman years, we had totemism, or like totems, gods made, and we cherished them like the primal father of like the leader of the horde or group, and the primal father is like Jesus, and that's what he says in religion, or other religions you could say, like Buddha could be, or Allah, or Abraham, or like that, and it's good to regard the father, like he said, for survival, and that, like it's ingrained in our society. Object choice, so regression of so he talks about in a whole different area now, like he talks about the back to erotica, but it's it's like the man's goals in life have been distorted by erotica, and the vision and like perceptions and of the world. So he regression of erotica. So like that means like pushing it away. You can find some object choice and like some real like self-expression in there. Like you can do that through art, and but he said regression is possible. And he talks about the cathexis of objects. So we've used religion to blend in with that object and object choice, and that we've used religion to explain and also serve in ways we don't even like. I don't think Christians are going out there, or like other religions are going out there and actually declaring this, but I think it's true what he says about we're using our cathexis object choice to pursue God or a primal father, and that's what we need to acknowledge to move on, I think. Anyway, next book. The Wind in the Willows. I read it all except for 50 pages. I see it got up to here, page 150 out of page about 200 pages. Yep. And then quickly, I won't say the story, but I'd just like to read my favourite page from the book. I thought it would be a good idea. Page 110. Here we go. As they slowly realized all they had seen and all they had lost, a capricious little breeze dancing up from the surface of the water tossed aspens, shook the dewy roses, and blew lightly and caressingly in their faces, and with its soft touch came instant oblivion. This is the last best gift that the kindly demigod is careful to bestow on those to whom he has revealed himself in the helping the gift of forgetfulness, lest the awful remembrance should remain and grow and overshadow mirth and pleasure, and the great haunting memory should spoil all the afterlives of little animals helped out of difficulties, in order they should be happy and light-hearted as before. I read many of these Reader's Digests, however I just thought it was good. One story was my favourite out of them all. So I does say I read about 5 this year, but this one is called, well, you can see the cover, and so this woman here, has done a lot of charitable and honourable work in Pakistan. She, from the top of my memory, I remember that she had some background in she had a background in like engineering, and she used it, her gift, in a really good way. She went to Pakistan. She found that in Pakistan there was natural disasters, and then she started using the natural found in Pakistan materials to rebuild their homes with limecrete. So it's a type of concrete, but like with lime in it, and bamboo. And even the King Charles has one of her buildings in his palace or whatever, but in grounds. And then this lady in Pakistan rebuilds all the devastation and has practical solutions. So I thought she was that was a good story. And then read this, and I like the app of this, but it's a good way to relax, and it's mindfulness, and what I take is 30 seconds of 30 minutes of silence every day. You can try and sit in silence to calm like anything, your nature calms down when you do this. And also other beneficial things I found in this book was listing 5 things I'm grateful for every day. However, there was a bit of lacking of how you can meditate with like Buddhism and mindfulness, but I think the app is a better one than the book, but still pretty good, and it shows a lot of insight from the benefits of doing mindfulness. Anyway, so this is the 4th book in the series of Cherub, and I have never told anyone about this, but I've read 3 other books of these before these, and so this is a series on teenager spies, and the reason why they use teenagers is because they think adults are too mainstream, or like you don't suspect teenagers. And I've been reading this book for the series for at least 20 years. Grew up with it. But I'll explain the story if you're keen to stick around. Thanks for watching so far, and I can recite this story pretty good, but if you're keen to stick around, hopefully you can so how many pages is this? About 300 pages. I read the whole thing this year, which I'm pretty impressed with myself for doing this. And the story goes like the main character is always involved, but he gets a mission in like like poverty sort of like America, like apartments, like poverty, and like he has to first work out what these family of crooks like. He lives close with them because they're suspected of a murder, but they don't actually know much about the murder details or who actually did it in full stop. Like, they don't actually know which person it was. But the main character, James, he befriends a son of a very like medium level criminal, but pushed his luck for years and even could be, and then he murdered someone. But I shouldn't have given it away. But yeah, well, the man James worked out that the son of who was befriending, because the mission controller said befriend this man, son, and the son. So the son of Leon, Leon's a criminal, and then the son of Leon had like another friend, acquaintance, and then that's the one who got murdered. And then he found like his computer, and like while that was happening, James's other co-worker befriended Leon at a dealership, and Leon is the main crook in question, and also with a corrupt police officer to get things into the criminal world, like helping an ex police officer or police officer helped him, Leon, and he gets in trouble too. Sorry, I just had to restart the filming. Leon is at a dealership, and he launders his money through the dealership, through crime, as well. Gets the money laundered through, and it looks like it's on the books with his car dealership. And then, so the other agent with James, let's just say Troy, Troy goes in with Leon and works with him and gets his trust, and then he just tries to get a little information on his computer about some of the dealings with like the corrupt police officer who Leon trusts more than anyone else, and then who works with, and then they get to so back to James. James gets back with the mission controller, and they have a good evidence that it was Leon's son. Leon's son actually confesses something to, or like he talks, somehow provides evidence that James is happy with it. Leon and the corrupt officer committed the crime. So the mission controller, James, and the co-worker want to get him to confess it on a microphone, and they do this. The mission controller suggests they make them very angry at each other, the corrupt officer and Leon. So one day James plants like hidden microphones in the corrupt officer's house, and then gets him really angry by breaking down his car, and like the one that Leon actually happened to sell him and make a deal with. And then the corrupt officer confesses. Oh, I won't go. Wait. Oh yeah, James and the mission controller, they use, with a couple more even agents, come in with a van and they use a laser microphone. They have the bugs already hidden as well, so that's two the microphones. Laser microphones on the windows, and the hidden microphones are in various locations, so they've got the whole house. And then so the car doesn't work, and then the corrupt officer rings Leon, and Leon has had a bad day because the other co-worker makes sure he has a bad day. And then they start swearing at each other, and they pretty much confess the crime overall, like yada yada yada. They confess the crime, and then that's enough evidence to get them into prison. And because they actually the life of a poor boy in that I'll tell you about him who died. He got murdered. He was one of the friends of Leon's son, and just like a going to school normally as a young child and teenager, and he was a bit of an introvert and liked his computer, and they actually found on his computer like he would take some money from Leon's dealership, like Leon gave him some, I don't know, money or something. Or anyway, he had some records of Leon on the computer, and I can't remember exactly. I think, he could have the evidence that Leon was a crook, like whatever, everything he's totally done on his computer. That's why they wanted to kill him, and the corrupt officer did it as well. So he was a good man, that good teenager, that one who got murdered, and yeah. Now that's about 5 or 4 books I've read, and I've got plenty of magazines. I'll show you. Okay, that's 4 books I've read, and I've got some more on the go that I'm reading even later tonight, and hope you enjoyed the video, and stick around because probably in mid 2026 I'm gonna release what I read again, and even share more book videos, because I'm really into books, as you can tell. And I've got probably another 5 on the go, but yeah, there's some more on the go as well with education or videos for this channel. Let me know if you like the gaming, educational, or gardening, or even just all 3. But tune to Mr. Hurley 321. Have a good Christmas. Bye.